Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Film Fumblers Show, the show where we fumble through your favorite films. Today we're going to be talking about WALL-E, a movie released in 2008 and directed by Andrew Stanton. So without further ado, I'm Adrian.
I'm Jay.
I'm James.
And I'm Taryn.
Alright guys, who's got a beer to crack?
Oh, yep.
Oh shit, are we doing the shot or are we doing the beer? Let's do the beer first.
Crack it.
Crack it.
Crack a beer and then we can
Count it,
crack
count it.
these.
1, 2, 3.
Nice.
Ooh.
Into the shot.
And then we could do this.
What's everyone drinking? Ensign Red. What?
Catching
Fine Canadian
Fire. Cinnamon Whiskey. Sponsored by... What's that book? With that one girl?
Hunger Games.
Oh,
Hungry Games.
Catching Fire?
I'm drinking
That's in these
basically
hands.
99 bananas, as James put it.
And I've got,
Basically 99.
and I've got some horchata
Horchata.
that I can't open. Great. Just great.
Horchata has alcohol, bro.
This one does. Are you serious? Here you go, little lady.
Thanks, Dad.
Hey, he loosened it up for you.
God.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers.
Wow, that's a sound I haven't heard in my ears before.
Well, that probably sounded great for the listeners.
Dude,
Oh,
Dude, that
this
was
is
good.
Basically Fireball.
these shooters are
Wow.
cool, but it takes like 10 seconds for it to fall into your mouth.
Because it's
That's
a
the
camera.
problem.
It's more...
Bottleneck.
You know what this taste reminds me of is bowling.
No.
Oh,
Bowling.
yeah. I was going to bring
And a
bowling
lot,
up, dude.
99.
We were on a bowling league, and because we're really cool, and we would all just take shooters in because we were also really thrifty.
Yeah.
And
place was
I had to drink one.
expensive,
to
I had
be
to drink
fair.
one from a
Very
pint glass that
expensive.
had ice in it. It was like a mixed drink that somebody, like I think my girlfriend finished, and then I was like, all right, let's just pour the shots in there so we're not too inconspicuous, or so we're more inconspicuous. And then I had to drink that shit through a straw.
Oh.
Taking a shot through a straw is fucking gross. It's so
That's
gross.
probably worse than letting it just
Right in
fall
the
in
right
like
in the
this.
back of your... right in the hole.
You probably got fucked up.
And it was like watered down because there was it was gross.
Right in your hole.
Okay, WALL-E. Opening
Wow.
thoughts on this movie.
Who was this their first time?
Nobody, right?
This was my first time
Me.
watching it. I tried to watch it a couple of years ago, and I fell asleep, but not because it was a bad movie, because it was like after work, and I had just cooked dinner or something.
Sure.
Wait, this is your first time?
This is my first time watching
Oh,
No,
it.
it's not. Are you serious?
Yes.
This is my
Oh
first time.
shit!
All the way
100%.
through. I
What the
had
hell?
seen pieces of it,
Oh,
but I
man.
never saw the whole
So
thing.
we're
Well,
a
I've
little
seen
bit
it.
on the
the first
Disney
movie I've
Plus tip
seen.
right now.
Yeah. You
I
know
didn't
it.
watch it on Disney, but yeah.
It was in 4K,
No, it wasn't.
but Disney Plus wasn't working, so
It wasn't on 4K, right?
it was.
Maybe it just doesn't tell you if you're not on a... I don't know.
Yeah.
How did it look
So
in 4K?
I had to plug it. It didn't work.
Oh,
Disney
right.
Plus, man.
Yeah.
I have
Sorry.
this curse where I'll go to play something, but only when I'm holding the remote, and it'll start playing, and it'll tease you a little bit. 25 seconds in, cuts. The image stops
What?
moving, the sound will play for a little bit, and then everything doesn't work. And Jordan was like, what the hell did you do? Because it never does it for her. It never does it for her. And I was like, are you serious? So we tried a couple other movies, we tried restarting TV, we tried all this shit, and nothing worked. It just didn't work. So luckily, Jordan, being who she is, had the DVD, popped it in, and it was all good.
Was it because I
Didn't
was
have it in
watching it at
4K.
my house? It was like, no, you can't do this.
No, you
Did you
can't.
watch it last night?
Yeah.
What time?
You can have up to like 4
7?
devices
She
playing.
said
You guys
could
Yeah,
have
no,
Disney
it's
Plus?
definitely not that.
Time.
Huh?
You guys sharing a Disney Plus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want in?
Kind of.
Yeah, can I get in?
My
I just
girlfriend
have
lets
the
me buy it,
7-day
and I'm
free
just
trial that ends
Dude.
tonight, and I need to end it.
You know what?
So cheap,
Oh, you
dude.
got a
guys are
trial?
crazy.
How long
It's
is the
so
trial?
cheap.
You can do it on
A
stream.
week, and it ends today.
Oh,
So I'm probably paying for it right now.
shit.
You're locked in.
Yeah. So the Disney Plus tip where everybody's on it, everyone's talking about it, everyone's going
Dude, it's a
wild
big
about
deal.
it. So
And
It
they
is a
didn't-
big
So
deal.
we
they
went-
didn't
we
even
went into
think
it.
that
We
like
went
it was
into
gonna be that big. Did you hear about that?
really?
What?
They
Of
were
course
like,
it's gonna be that
oh,
big.
we
How?
weren't
They didn't-
anticipating this
Oh.
many users.
That's
Humble
of all the
brag,
things.
dude.
I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
what?
Humble brag.
Humble
Humble
brag.
brag.
All right, can I talk
Yeah,
conspiracy
sure.
for a second?
Go ahead.
I think that I'm not one for conspiracy theories,
Okay.
Oh, I am.
but I feel like Disney has launched a fleet of meme creators to make dank fucking memes about Disney Plus to talk positively about it. Have any of you seen a negative meme about Disney Plus? That's good. That's funny. Because there's so
It wasn't
many.
Disney
of them.
Plus, but Disney, the one that you sent the other day.
Disney Plus this dick? That's a
No.
positive.
It
meme.
wasn't Disney Plus. It was like
Disney
Disney. It was
Plus
like you don't like Disney.
Oh,
You
it's
just
like-
haven't been.
Oh
whatever.
yeah. You
Like
don't like
Netflix.
Disney. You just haven't been happy since you were 11.
That's the only one,
No,
which
yeah.
is fake.
Yeah.
But it's still kind of
Yeah.
talking Disney.
I'm
Yeah.
still talking about.
So-
Dude, I feel like they're just like pumping out these memes, and because I'm seeing so many positive things about it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's so cynical of me to say that. To be like,
It's
Well,
not though.
people can't just enjoy.
I don't know.
things.
No,
I don't
because
think it's out of
Something to
before
that,
the
man.
realm of possibility.
before the Pikachu movie came out, the surprise Pikachu meme was really fucking big, and people were saying that was
Yes.
plugged.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, to hype up the movie.
Well,
That's the way to do
Yeah.
it, man.
So
That's
I
the way
believe,
to reach
I believe,
people
yeah,
in our
it's
age group.
advertising. It's
Think
nothing
about
but
it like
ads.
this. What is-
Especially if they're funny. Sorry.
Sure, but in 2019, what is marketing? It's memes, making
Yeah.
memes,
It's
distributing.
Well,
slash
yeah,
our
but-
fellow
but if it's
kids.
done
Trying to get shit
Trying
viral,
to
like
get them
all of it.
kids.
If it's done on a professional level, it feels dirty. Just
No,
like
it totally does.
you know
It
what I mean?
totally does.
Come on.
I want some like guy in his basement to be
Yeah.
pumping it out. Not like some executives
Of course.
in like
Yeah.
black ties.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Every company Twitter is a fucking meme account, straight
Yeah,
up.
I
It's
know.
kind of
That's
crazy.
true.
And who can
And
be
they're
more
good, too.
savage?
Wendy's started that train. Though.
Yeah, oh, yeah, yeah,
Give a
yeah.
Shout out
Yeah,
Wendy's.
we
Yeah,
talked
that
about
guy
that.
probably got a raise.
Savage.
It was a girl. I read an article.
Oh, was
and
it?
She.
Oh,
Was it Wendy?
Oh, shit. So this is my personal account?
damn.
She was like, she was worked in marketing for Wendy's, and was just one day like, I'm gonna just roast people and see what
Yeah.
happens. And like people, I think in the article I read, people were like, that seems like weird, and not like a good thing.
Oh, like roasting other companies
Yeah.
or other fast food places?
Or even just customers.
Oh,
or
okay.
whatever. And they were like, let's just see what happens, and it just blew up and it became huge. That's crazy though.
Now every company Twitter is a
Now
meme account.
everybody's doing that. yeah.
Okay. We're like,
Well, this all will
5
tie
minutes
in.
in.
This all ties in. This does.
Does it tie in?
This
Hell
ties in.
yeah.
Hella,
Okay.
hella.
Hell yeah.
okay. Oh,
Where do we
yeah.
wanna start?
Heavily, I meant to say.
Where do we
Forgot
want
what
to
this
start?
movie's about.
Yeah.
Okay. Should we let Jay take the floor for a second? He's heated over here.
I'm just
I
saying.
feel
it's
it coming
all,
off of you.
It's all. Okay, here's my thing.
Oh Jesus.
For a movie made in 2008, this shit was ahead of its time. They were complaining shit ahead of their time. 2008 was the second year of high school for us. That was when I got my first smartphone that had like real apps and like the internet and shit. on
The
it, you know what I mean?
internet.
Yeah.
That was like
Motorola
iPod
Droid.
Touch
Yes,
days, dude.
the
Because I had
Motorola
that
Droid,
phone
dude.
too. That
Do you want me
thing.
to
I'm-
tell you
think
how
about
ahead of
that
its
every
time
day.
it was? Because it was released in 2008. They came up with the concept of this in the mid 90s.
That is
94.
Insane.
Dude,
So that's when they
Insane.
were like, let's do this movie. It got shelved a little bit, but
Yeah.
I mean, so that's so ahead of its time.
Of
They have
course.
so much hindsight.
Dude, sci-fi.
This
the
is when
best,
Pixar
man.
had Steve Jobs around still too. So I'm
Mm.
sure
Oh,
that
shit.
had something to do with it.
Yeah.
Because he was already like, you're going to be holding one of these bad boys for the rest of your life in 94. And then
Not
it came
me.
out, well, you know,
Sorry.
but you are, right?
Oh, I
Like
thought
a
you meant an
smartphone.
iPhone specifically.
No,
A smartphone, a computer in your pocket.
Computer.
And for them to just kind of, it's not even that they were there at the smartphone level, they're at the next level, like the hologram level.
yeah.
The, everything is automated level,
Yeah.
which is crazy for 94. And in some ways, it's like a utopian movie, a little piece of utopia, like this is how things could be, but the rest is total dystopian.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's what it is today is like, in some senses, we're kind of disguising full automation as being a utopia, as like having robots do everything for us. And this movie kind of goes into that a little bit, like, look at how great things kind of are, but then it kind of pulls back the curtain and says, like, look at how actually shitty things really are.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the reality of it. What? Oh, then my monitor's turned off?
Just smiling.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's all good.
Well,
What time did we start? We started like...
do
It
you
was
want-
at
It's
8
fine.
minutes.
I got
Just
it.
say real quick.
I got it here. It'll be fine.
No, it's okay. We're fine.
Okay.
Okay, where were we? We
Well,
were...
The
We're talking
utopian
about
thing.
automation, though.
Talk about once you're woke, you notice how everything's not so great, bro.
Yeah. Well, do you notice it?
Huh?
Do you notice that things aren't great? Because all of those people didn't notice that things weren't
Oh
great.
yeah, no, I'm saying.
It was great to them, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's half like, it was also generational, you know what I mean? Like, they had all the captains, you know, and
Yeah.
the first one was like a fucking long time ago. So in
Right.
that time, when you're like raised on I don't know, technology and like just having things instantly and shit like that, it's like you probably don't, you never knew what it was like to be on Earth to begin with. But now you really don't know because you're like 7 generations removed.
Yeah,
you know
700
Yeah.
years, dude.
It was like
That's
closer to 800, I
insane.
think. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's just
700 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
That's
like
so
that's a good
far.
point to bring up. Is like maybe I'm going ahead, but like the difference between why did they use live action for the past versus
Oh, I know.
animation now.
800 years from now, everything is animated. Is what
We
I-
just plug
Disney
into the
Disney has
singularity.
taken over
Yeah.
and everybody's animated. Yeah.
That
So
was-
like
I did notice that too, but I totally forgot about it.
like and they only ever saw people interact with each other
Yeah.
and they never interact with each other
Right.
like Wally saw people dancing
Yeah, in
and
those
the
movies.
captain saw
Well, no, the captain
People.
was like really ignorant of what the world was where we
Yeah,
are today
yeah,
because
yeah.
he saw that clip. What was it? Where I think he just saw Earth. He's like, "Hey, what's Earth?" And then it's like,
Yeah.
"Earth is this," and it's like, "What's
Yeah.
water?" And he goes into all of this stuff. What's dancing?
yeah
They have like no concept of anything,
Right.
any like cultural things that we have. On
It was
the
like
internet.
they were born and they died in that same chair. floating
Yeah,
chair
right,
Their whole
yeah.
lives. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I loved the what happens. I think one of the robots, maybe it's Wally, like bumps into one of the people, and like their screen shuts off for whatever reason,
Yeah.
and she's like,
She's what?
"Oh shit, there's other people."
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
you
she's
know, and
like,
she
"Whoa,
starts.
we have a
She
pool?"
sees the
Yeah,
outside.
they have
of
a
the
pool,
thing.
and
Yeah.
they look
Yeah.
at the you know.
Sees the stars and stuff. She's like, oh shit.
And that's specifically what I'm referring to with them being ahead of their time with like how
Yeah.
when I was
Oh,
waiting
yeah.
in line for 35 fucking minutes Chipotle for Chipotle, there was people like other people in line. Everybody else was just like
Glued to their phone.
yeah
the
Yeah.
whole time, and I was like, holy shit, it's real. It's so real. We're already there. You know what I mean?
Dude,
It's
I was
like,
picking up Thai takeout the other day, and I left my phone in the car to go get it, and it wasn't ready, so I had to wait in the restaurant for 15 minutes, and I was just like reading the menu, like trying not to. I was like,
okay I'm
"Well, maybe I'll
gonna
get there next time." Like it's like,
yeah.
I'm gonna admit something before I came here.
What?
I had my phone charging and I went to go take a shit before I took a shower, and I was like, "Shit, I don't have my shit readings." Like I'm just so I just took. It's like been a long time since just taking a shit without looking at my phone. So I took a lonely shit. It felt lonely, but also it felt weird. But I had thought about that. I was like, "Oh, my phone's charged." I was like, "Well, I'm just gonna check because I'm going in the shower anyways."
Yeah.
So,
I felt so long.
it was just I don't know. It was weird. It was just me and my
shit.
carnal self.
Yeah.
my
You're doing a primal ass
Animalistic-
thing.
yeah, my
One of the last
animalistic
primal
nature.
things we even do anymore.
I saw this.
and we
You
don't
don't
even
have
do
your-
it right because you got the
your
potty
tank.
squatty. That's why our buttholes are all fucked up.
Dude, I saw the most hilarious meme. Speaking of shitting on your phone, like while you're on your phone, it was like a shot of Goofy floating in water, and it was just like my shit vibing for 30 minutes while I'm
Oh my god!
Dude, it's true. Well, I mean, I of course read on my phone too while I shit. Like probably.
But I'm not gonna be
Everyone
sitting
does.
there
I don't think
for
there's
30
anyone who doesn't.
minutes.
You
like,
don't
I'm-
sit there for longer than you would if you didn't just
Right.
go in there to shit. Because I do.
I-
I get
oh,
sucked
yeah.
in
I
for an
forget
hour.
I'm sitting in there, dude. I'm like, oh god.
I don't.
wake up
I don't.
and
I
you
don't
can't stand up
yeah,
'cause
I'm not that far removed. Like I'm not overextending my stay there. Like I'm just like okay, I'm done. Like and then I'm,
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on what I'm reading. But
forget. I'm
sometimes
not-
I will.
Yeah.
I'll stay for a while.
I'm not gonna get some crusties or anything.
Well, that was great.
Anyways, being so connected or disconnected.
That's the weird thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's like the whole talk of everything. Like, oh, social media is bringing us all together.
Right.
And in some ways it does. Like, you know, you can see your third grade best friend's niece's baby pictures. You know, like, yeah, we're connected. But you're not really connected with people. And that's kind of the thing with social media in general is just like, look how great my life is. Remember one time I had a friend who was just like, I used to post on Snapchat a lot about like when I was out at a brewery or whatever I was doing. And she like messaged me. She was like, "Wow, your life looks so fun." I was like, "I'm miserable." And like she's like
Dude,
she's
that's-
like, well, I hope
was-
your life turns out to be as fun as it looks on Snapchat.
Oh, got it.
Because she was being sincere, but yeah, it was hilarious.
Shit.
This was like several years ago, but
That's
it was just
true.
funny.
It's like
Yeah.
you are more connected only in that you're like able to reach somebody at the drop of a hat if you
But
wanted.
you
right?
wouldn't.
Yeah, exactly. Or like
you
you're saying
Right.
your third grade friend's niece. Whatever.
Right.
Do you care about that
No.
person? Not fucking really, right? And when you do, or I mean, I don't know. I can't speak for myself or I guess anybody else on this, but a lot of people who do post those things.
Yeah.
Like my life is cool. I'm on this fucking yacht.
Mhm.
I bought this car. I'm doing whatever. Right.
Yeah.
And so by putting up like that fake mask,
Facade, yeah.
but you're still being connected, but like it's almost worse than just not being connected.
Yeah.
It's like we're connected, but look at this. This is how it is, but it's not how it is.
Yeah.
I'd rather just not know.
It's just, but I think that it's like back before that kind of stuff, you could do that like face to face. You could put on a facade, but now it's just like
Yeah, sure.
easier for you
It's
to
easier,
do
yeah.
because you don't have to
Mhm.
do it face to face. Now it's just
Yeah.
now
Dude,
it's
yeah.
And kind
almost
of like
entirely
the-
fabricated
kind
facade.
of like the pilots through the generations. Like our kids are not gonna know how to facade in person. You know what I mean? They're not gonna.
Oh.
I don't even think we know
I'm
how
not
to
gonna
talk to
deceive
people in
people.
real life.
Exactly. They're not
We're
gonna just
already
know,
fucked.
you know, put on a show. They're gonna be probably pretty fucking awkward because nobody really talks like face to
Right.
face anymore.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Even like us, like we've been friends forever. We have a group chat that we're always talking or whatever. It's like
Yeah.
when we actually get together, it's like we don't have anything to talk about because we already talked about it this morning. You know what I mean?
Right.
We still have fun though.
Yeah.
I
you
don't.
know, but
No, I know. I'm
it's-
just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
No, that's true. And that's been a weird thing because it's been a part of our lives for so long, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
not only
Yeah.
before these group chats, but we would do this every night, like in Vent or Discord.
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
we
for us,
really
that
we
transition
really
was
grew
not
up
that
on the
weird.
internet. Like I think
Yeah.
comparatively to a lot of our peers,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why
us
people.
we grew up like bad on the
Even
internet.
this, in some ways, what we're doing right now is just
Yeah.
another form of like talking to people on the internet.
Yeah, like people from like our high school or something that always be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you guys are all still so like friends and stuff." And it's
Right.
like we never stop talking to each other. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
That's what it is, yeah.
it's impossible to. Like, I mean, almost. It's like
Kind of, yeah.
Shit.
Well, I would
Yeah.
attribute like at least the first few years after we got into high school to video games. Like
Yeah.
we would
Yeah.
like
100%.
we'd finish our jobs or college or whatever we happened to be doing. We'd get home at like, around the same time, and then we would jump into Ventrilo or now it's Discord and just be like, okay, what game are we playing? Like what's the game that's
or
like,
even just sit
everyone's
there,
on?
scrolling
Or even just
something,
sit there
just
and
talking.
scrolling
And
through
talking.
Hanging out,
fucking
basically.
4chan, like
Exactly. And for some
and
reason,
just talking.
to
Yeah.
me, it sounds hypocritical to say all these things and then be like, but this is it. We grew up and did all this shit.
Yeah.
But it was different. I don't know how or why.
I think it's different because we're like actually talking to each
We're
other.
still,
but
socializing.
we're not like so like I said. Well, never mind. I'm gonna go on a tangent, but like my nieces and nephews, they're on the fucking iPads and they're like staring at the screens. We never experienced
We
that.
didn't
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
That's
You know,
true.
we still. I think
Sometimes
that's.
we're, like,
I think
on
that's
breaks,
why we can justify like our
We're in this weird
lifestyle the
middle
way. Yeah, we're in
Yeah.
we're in a weird middle ground because we got the technology not at its very inception because
Yeah.
we still played outside. We still had lots of
Right.
that stuff.
And kids still
But
play
like
outside
but we were
today,
still
but-
very young. Yeah, and I get
Yeah.
that too. But we weren't fucking glued to
Yeah, for
mommy
sure.
and daddy's cell phones or anything.
For
We
sure.
didn't know how to
Yeah.
download an app. Well, there's no.
I
such
remember
thing
when you could get
when
Snake
we were a
on one of
kid.
those on Mom's
Yeah,
phone.
Snake,
the
yeah.
best
That was the
thing,
closest
Yeah,
you got.
that was
What
yeah.
I used to do when I was too young to have a phone is I would take my mom's old flip phones,
Mhm.
like cell phones,
Oh,
and pretend
yeah.
like I had a phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, my dad
They
has some
do
like
now.
old phones. Yeah,
but
They
the
do
kids
now.
that age do now.
That's insane.
And
that was back when you could only text a handful of characters, and then you'd run up a huge bill.
Yeah,
When this
T9
before
texting.
unlimited
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
Shit.
Unlimited anything didn't exist, and one time I fucking in middle school texting got big. I remember being in band and shit, and we were all that's all
Yep.
we did. You know what I mean?
I know. I didn't have a cell phone till high school.
Really?
Yeah, so I was like behind the curve
Yeah.
on everybody.
Well, that was a smart-
I got mine in 7th
Yeah.
grade.
I
Yeah.
ran up a bill that was literally like $550 off texting.
Oh.
When I was like, I don't know, like how old are you in middle school? Like 10, 11, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
12 maybe.
I don't know.
And Yeah, it was insane. I had to sell like my DS. I think it was
Oh,
like a
man.
DS Lite at the time.
Well, dude, now
Pay
kids
it
are doing
off.
that with
Yeah, and a
like
bunch of games to
Candy
pay it off.
Crush.
So I was like, holy shit, I couldn't believe I fucked it up this bad. You know what I mean?
That's crazy, dude.
It was weird.
Yeah. All right, so let's get back to Wally for a second. Just for a second, because that's not what
Actually, to relate that,
Because that's not why we're here.
right.
to relate it back, that scene where the two characters are talking to each other and they're literally sitting next to each other, but they're looking at screens or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
was like, oh my god, I forgot about this. Looking crazy, man.
it is crazy.
Boy,
Going
to be
into Steve Jobs being part of this, when Wally shuts down for the first time and then boots back up a solar, it plays that like
Oh,
Mac
the
sound,
Mac.
Yep.
Which is weird because I thought they would have put it on Eve. Why wouldn't they put it on Eve when she's clearly the Mac and Wally's the PC? You know what I mean?
Oh.
Do you remember those commercials back in the day?
Oh, I do.
I'm a Mac, I'm a PC.
Yeah.
Obviously, one is
Yeah.
like dressed up professional, the other one's like whatever, like
Yeah.
mechanic or something.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay.
it
Dude, have
is.
you seen that Windows Surface commercial where there's a guy whose name is Mac Pro? What is it?
Oh my god, I
His-
think I have. Yeah.
His name, I think, is like Mac Pro. Or no, MacBook.
Yeah.
His name is MacBook. He's like, hi, I'm MacBook. This is a Windows Surface. Wow, this is really cool. I'm
Yeah.
not. His name is MacBook.
Yeah.
It's so
That's basically that. Those other
Yeah.
old up there.
Oh my god.
Okay, I want to take it back to just meeting Wally. Like he's just a robot that they forgot to turn off, or maybe they want him there to clean up Earth, kind of thing.
He just didn't die.
Yeah,
Like, he's
I guess
just-
because you see all of the other Wallys that are
You
dead.
see, Wally's a monster, bro. He just walks by his fallen brethren, takes his
Oh, yeah.
shoes, and just
Rips their
leaves.
rib cage
Doesn't
out,
care. He could have probably repaired this guy, right?
their eyeball out.
Took his shoes, man.
See, I feel
Fuck
like
it.
Wally
That was in his
is-
programming, man.
He's just programmed to
No, I
a
don't.
specific
But then
way.
he
He's a
loves
little
later.
special.
Okay, so that's what I wanted to
I don't
talk
know, man.
about is Wally right away which by the way they make a cockroach cute, which I mean hats off to
Dude,
Disney
yeah.
for doing
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
But they show like the emotions that Wally has so quickly. Like he's a robot, he gathers trash, he turns it into a cube, and then he stacks it.
Yeah.
But right away, like there's a scene where the cockroach crawls up onto his shoulder, and he's riding back to his house, and one of his treads is messed up, and like it's like shaky, and his cockroach is like barely hanging on, and he looks at him, and he's like, "Oh, you're struggling. Like let me replace that." And like you just see automatically, like okay, this robot has empathy. And then you see like this robot is scared. He can be scared. He can be happy. He can reflect on past things. Like so
Right.
they do a good job. Like right away, like this robot is experiencing a range of human emotions.
Yeah. I did like the cockroach thing.
Yeah,
That was
it's
cute.
cute.
Yeah.
But
And he
there's a lot
runs
of
over him like
things-
3 times, and it's just
You
like
know, every time you're like, oh.
Still don't know.
Yeah.
But now that you say that, it just kind of makes me think of like, in like programming and shit. You know, Wally has a bug, but he also has a literal bug.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That's kinda weird.
Nice.
But he's I mean,
Because
it's
he has to
awesome.
be one of the few like sentient almost Wallys, right?
Right.
Because when he gets rebooted at the end, he's like totally
oh, he just goes back
emotionless.
into work
Different.
mode. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he like evolve? Like what happened? I
Yeah.
wonder.
I don't know. That's a weird thing.
But he
And
comes back right away. Well, yeah.
Well, he comes. Yeah. I mean, I
It's
guess.
the
Could
year.
be from the shock,
Is
though.
it?
That's what I'm
the
thinking.
kids? Yeah.
But
Is
he-
it
but
from
then
the
he was like
years
that
and years
before
of
he met
watching
Eve.
people dancing, people doing stuff? But I don't know. I
Yeah,
mean,
but how
like,
would he learn to
But
even
why
do
would he
that?
do that?
He
Yeah, just
places
computer learning.
favoritism over certain objects and items and
Maybe.
stuff
Yeah.
like that. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't think there's a definite.
He's
answer.
even like lustful,
No, I know.
weirdly. Like with
No, I don't like need an answer. I'm just like, oh, I wonder.
Yeah,
how,
no,
how
yeah,
I
no,
got
no.
there.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if there's even a theory that you could put together.
Yeah. I didn't. The bug is interesting though.
That's funny. I
That
didn't
is.
think about that.
You know what else is
Yes.
interesting? So, the robot that comes down, like what we were saying, the Mac,
Yeah.
comes down. Her name is Eve,
Mm.
and so I was reading up that it was like religiously inspired in a way, like the
Yeah.
story of Adam and Eve, where you have
Oh.
Wally, who's kind of Adam, and he's alone, and he's just like completely lonely. So in the story, God sends Eve, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't even realize that. I thought her name was Eva because that's how he says it, but
Oh,
Yeah.
Eve, which was pretty interesting.
There's a lot of like stories out there that are inspired like either biblically or by like Greek
Yeah, or
mythology,
Greek, yeah.
or like all those kind
Yeah.
of like Star Wars is like a big
Mhm.
one like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Speaking of Star Wars, Ben Burtt. Do you guys know who Ben Burtt
I
is?
don't.
He does a lot of. He's an audio an audio engineer. He does like sound effects for things. He did a lot of the sound effects for Star Wars, and he's also the one who's like he's like Wally's voice, and like he does all of that.
Yeah.
That's dope.
He's the one
that's really
who
cool, yeah.
popularized the Wilhelm scream.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, yeah.
That one
Yeah.
fucked up scream.
Nice.
Yeah, like he just put it in everything he could put it in.
That's funny.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what made me sad about this movie is how like, okay, so you have the organization. What is it? BNL, by and large.
Yep.
Yeah.
By and large.
And they basically, towards the end, when they're leaving Earth, they leave Earth on like this giant cruise ship, and I was like, God damn it! Like everyone hates cruises so much. And I'm just like, I like cruises, man. They're cool. And they're not as expensive as people think they are.
So going back to the cruise thing then, like just the technology of things, I don't know, I just got so stuck up on like sentient Wally and sentient Eve, because like she's you know,
She has a mission, but
very capable of feeling emotions too.
Right.
Right. And I think, well,
The technology's there. Did they
Yeah.
purposely make?
maybe she's a bug too. But what's interesting about her is that she is kind of emotional even when you first meet her.
Yeah.
Because at the second anything moves, she
Oh, she's angry.
aggressive,
She is
so
angry.
blasts it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
She's-
is that?
I don't know. Like I feel like
Like,
even
if
if
she's
you-
looking for life, she's just gonna kill shit, or is she just like
Exactly.
trying to protect herself? Probably.
Which Jordan bring this one up. You know how her whole thing is like scanning for life. Then how come the cockroach didn't make anything happen?
Maybe it's
Oh,
plant life,
interesting.
like specific.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they have the little green thing on them.
I guess.
Because some animals probably can be all weird and survive without plants or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. But anyways, I feel like she is angry or like a little bit more aggressive than.
Oh yeah,
at
you
the
hear it in
average one
you hear
would
it in her voice. She's like, Waller.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
She-
damn.
She
What
had
I-
like the opposite bug of what Wally had essentially.
Yeah,
Like,
when I
Wally's
was
very
watching
nice
it, I
and
was like,
compassionate.
this is too realistic. She's too realistic of a woman. Like, I'm just like, oh my god, you can hear the disappointment in her voice. I was just like, I've heard that before. Like, she's just like,
Oh,
just
man.
so disappointed in like a lot of the scenes. I'm like, oh my god, this is too
It's
real.
getting too real.
This is too real. This is too real right now.
Oh man, yeah. So Eve goes down to Earth, and she finds the plant that Wally found. It's
Yeah.
just a little sapling kind of thing
Just like,
in a boot.
I love that boot. That's
Yeah,
cool.
it was cool that they did that. So yeah, she comes down, she finds it, and then she goes into like hibernation mode to protect the leaf, and they pick her back up, and she's got how crazy is it like when like the whole scene, all of the scenes where Wally is like staying by her and like
Right.
you know she's in that thing.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Like so much of it, I was just like, this is so heartwarming, and my girlfriend got mad at me because I was just like, he's kind of a psychopath because she's kind of like
Yeah.
dead almost. And he's
Oh,
like
yeah.
trying to hold her hand. He's like
Oh, that
ripping
shit
it out of
was
the thing.
that shit
It's
was
so
pretty
weird.
sad. Like I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
that was like I don't know. It's just like the person you love and they don't even know you exist,
Yeah.
and he's just there, spending his
Yeah.
every waking hour like bending for her,
Mm-hmm.
and she don't even fucking care. She doesn't even
Yeah.
notice, and that shit's too real. I'm just like I can't.
You, like,
watch.
literally
I'm
make sculptures of her?
No, I'm like I'm almost like I can't watch. I'm like this is like it's too much. Too much. It's
Oh.
too much
That's
for
where
me.
Tesla must have got Sentry Mode from. Do you guys know about Sentry Mode?
No.
When your car is parked and off and everything, the cameras keep running. So if
Oh,
someone
yeah.
comes and fucks with your car, you
Oh.
can play it back.
There's so many montages of people keying Tesla.
Yeah, exactly.
People
Oh,
hate
people love to
Teslas,
key
dude.
Teslas.
They hate
Some
Teslas.
American Ford driving brothers.
Dude, I
But
saw.
the-
Oh, go ahead.
Eve's thing is basically like Sentry Mode, like even while she's asleep.
Oh,
or
yeah,
off,
'cause,
she
oh,
she
she
remembers
plays-
all of it.
She
yeah.
plays it later.
Yeah.
Plays it,
yeah,
yeah.
and then she's like, "Oh damn,
Yeah.
I fucked up."
What was
Yeah.
interesting about how you're saying like all that those scenes lead up to him, both of them essentially leaving,
Right.
As you see how truly opposite the two robots are. Like Eve's mission is, along with all the other Eves, right, is to go to a different place that she doesn't know and pick things and whatever. And Wally's is he's very routine. Like he stays home, he does his trash stuff, even when everybody else is gone. He puts it back, but he has a little bit of fun too.
Yeah.
But when he's about to go on the ship, he like has those second thoughts of like, I don't know if I can leave this. Like, this is where I'm comfortable.
Oh,
this
yeah.
is my shit. And
Oh,
she's
yeah,
like,
well,
I go
'cause
to a
he's-
different planet every week. Like, this shit ain't nothing to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because and then he's like looking back at his cockroach.
Exactly. He looks
where
back at
he's just like, oh.
cockroach at Earth and all that shit, and he gets
Yeah.
like, he's
So
kinda
many. I think
sad.
they did such a good job at just like showing potentially like how emotions would be in a robot. Like you're still a robot, but I mean you have you're experiencing these emotions, these human emotions that it's just so crazy.
With no dialogue at that. Was
Yeah.
it like the
No
first
dialogue.
40 minutes or something?
Very
Yeah.
little. You
Nothing.
hear the B&L guy talk a couple
Oh,
times,
the
but
CEO.
just very very little dialogue, which
Yeah.
was
This is
so cool.
insane.
Because a lot of Disney and Disney shorts don't have dialogue. Like a lot of them will
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
be,
True.
which like this movie, the whole first half of it kind of felt like a Disney short,
Right.
in that it was just like, and Disney does such a good job at like conveying so much story and so much emotion in Pixar in something that's just not talking, like
There's the
and so
lamp.
those kind of
All the
Right, yeah, the
all
Pixar
kinds of
lamp and-
different random things.
yeah.
And so like you say that, and then like that reminds me of like what the Lion King was missing, right?
The new one?
Yeah, the new
Yeah.
one. Like you don't see any emotion. How did we go 40 minutes through Wally, and we got all these different emotions, and we
Yeah, that's a
understand
good point.
exactly what's going on without a single word being said.
Yeah, because their
And then
faces could emote.
Yeah, their faces
Their
emote, but
fucking
that's
lions,
exactly. I mean,
stupid.
that's why like doing hyper realistic lions was just a fail. Like
I think it
It's
was a
just
proof
so-
of concept in a lot of ways. I mean, we don't have to get
Yeah.
into that, but
yeah, but
Yeah.
it's
I
like
just feel like they could have moved their faces a little bit. Because I heard in The New Lady and the Tramp, their faces are totally animated. I'm like, why
Yeah.
didn't they just do that?
I don't know. John Favreau
Yeah.
just went that direction, but like I feel like when you have a lot of things to study, when like I don't know I feel like this should be a movie that a lot of people who are doing animation stuff,
should be
how
inspired
to
by-
convey
Emotion.
emotion.
Yeah.
That this has probably got to be like a staple thing to study and learn. And I don't know. I was just thinking about the Lion King, and I was just like, how bad was that?
Yeah.
Like, it just
Go
felt
back
so,
and listen to our Lion King
it
episode.
felt so
and all
cold
this.
and dead. Like I'm
Yeah.
just like this.
No, yeah,
ah.
And these
But-
things are fucking robots. They are cold and
Yeah.
Literally.
But you care about them
Yeah,
somehow,
Yeah.
some way, because the way they did it, and
They're
brilliant.
masters,
It's
man.
brilliant. Yeah.
I think what they did a good job on too is they didn't really victimize humans. Like humans, they were just like they were babies. I mean, really, that could talk and drink their food through a straw, but like it wasn't their fault. You know what I mean? Like it was just like this was 10 generations down the line.
Right.
Where it was like this is all that they know and all that they have, and then you have the captain who's introduced to something that could be different, and it's like a completely about face. It is just a total shift for them, for the status quo.
Yeah.
And he's like, we need to do this, like,
Mhm.
and I don't know, it just like gives so much hope
Hope, dude. That's
for,
the human
for all
quality.
of it. Yeah.
Hope.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's in a lot of movies too. Like The Forest is kind of hope in some ways, right?
Yeah.
But no, it was cool to see that they didn't just totally blast us for being
Yeah.
assholes, because it's
Yeah. Because it's
a
easy to
mix of
do.
a lot of things, and it's easy to do. True.
It's also ironic that they're owned by Disney, which is like becoming the fucking B&L of our world, basically, just
Yeah.
owning
Yeah.
everything.
Which
Thought
is
that was kind of funny.
kind of funny. I mean, this is
When did they
like
switch
10 years
over?
ago, so
What?
Like what year did Pixar get under Disney?
Oh, Toy Story, right?
was that mid
Very
90s?
first one.
95 or something?
They just picked up right away.
I thought so.
Well, that's interesting.
So Pixar used to be a part of Lucasfilm,
Mm-hmm.
and in 2006, Disney purchased Pixar in 2006 for $7.4
Mm.
billion dollars.
Okay,
the
well,
B.
I was wrong about
Yeah.
that.
So like you're saying like.
So I guess the story was in development already then, right?
Yeah,
So-
mid 90s. Like
That's
right after
pretty
Toy
funny.
Story, they were like, let's.
Well, I think it was like this is loosely based on the one that was in the 90s, though. I think.
Well, they had the concept, right? And
Yeah.
then they just kept,
Yeah.
it's just like
Yeah.
anything.
Well, because that just makes it's interesting, right? Because we watched it on the DVD, which maybe this shows on Disney Plus or wherever else. But we watched through the whole credits just because there's little things in the credits that were cool.
Yeah.
And at the end, they do the Pixar thing. It's a special one. The lamp comes and jumps on, and then Wally rolls in and like becomes the R basically. Like he accidentally knocks it over or something. And then it ends. The Pixar little thing ends, and then they show B&L again at the end, and then it goes away. And then it's blank. I was like, that's weird.
That is really weird.
The last thing you see is B&L again.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I think
I was
they're
like, what?
yeah. Honestly, what you're saying is like they're super hyper aware of this. Like
Maybe they are.
they're trying to do this woke stuff about like capitalism is bad, but
yeah,
they're
just
but
like,
they
oh,
are
they'll
the
eat
same
this
exact
up. Like,
thing.
not Jimmy J. Like, oh yeah, let's look at him.
Like,
Jesus.
so.
It was weird.
But okay,
That's
so
crazy.
today was actually announced. John Favreau said there's. Oh, hold on. Spoiler alert to anybody who hasn't seen the Mandalorian TV film show thing
On Disney Plus.
on Disney Plus. Please pause or skip ahead because I'm going to say something controversial.
Controversial.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Anyways, so yeah, when Obi-Wan comes back and then no, I'm trying to troll the people.
I was like,
Yo, wait, what? I haven't seen this.
I only missed one episode. What?
Got him. Anyways, John Favreau said that they are not having any Baby Yoda merchandise available for this
because
season or this holiday season because they were so afraid of it being leaked. Because
Yeah.
previously,
Oh yeah.
whenever they would patent toys and design toys,
Yeah.
that shit would get leaked, and they were like, "Well, who is this character?" They didn't want the little Yoda person to be leaked. So that kind of was like, okay, like wow, they really are showing a turn
That's a huge
For-
move for the holiday season.
for the story,
for sure.
for saving for their story and their pockets. I mean, once that shit comes out, it's gonna be
Yeah.
pockets
Of
deep.
course.
Come on.
definitely appreciate
Pockets
that
deep.
decision though.
Yeah,
It's
but
cool.
yeah, so like we were talking about, oh, well, Disney's bad at doing this consumerism stuff, but when I heard that today, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, all right,
look
but
at
then
They're
it
probably
all-
just like,
yeah,
what's
yeah.
300 million in
Exactly.
revenue?
Look
Yeah,
at the way
it's
you
like,
feel.
you
You're
know?
both like, oh, I appreciate
Yeah.
that. That
Yeah.
makes me feel better about being a Mandalorian fan.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
But-
Is it that much better? They know they've got the money to not
Well, they
care
got
about it.
freaking
And that
100.
maybe-
And
a
they know
hundred-
they'll get the money later.
I'm just
Yeah.
happy I didn't know there was Baby Yoda until I saw it on the screen. That's
Sure.
all.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
If you
Yeah.
care about spoilers,
I don't
that's
care
fine.
what their actual.
They got
reasons are.
100,000
I guess.
subscribers anyways in the first day, so it
Yeah.
doesn't fucking mean shit. Pocket change.
Pocket
Yep.
change.
Anyways, back to the subject at hand. We're talking about Wally and
Okay, I have one weird question that I could not stop thinking about.
Mhm.
There's babies on the ship. How do they have the babies?
Artificial insemination.
Maybe they're clones.
You think so? It's like, do you think that women actually get pregnant and like do all that stuff?
They
I don't
probably
know.
have them in vitro, or they probably do like an in vitro pregnancy and then like just test tube it. It's probably a little room that they didn't show on the ship. I don't know.
Kids-
I'm,
Every time I saw a baby, and I was just like, how did
Yeah.
they get there?
But did you see any teenagers? Did you see any
No.
Yeah, no.
that's true.
old people? Really old. You only saw babies and adults.
I think their lifespan got longer from not doing
How
anything.
are they eating?
No, the
How are they
years, I
eating?
think, don't
Drinks,
show.
liquid.
Yeah, what kind of liquid?
They don't show.
I don't know how much
it
there
getting
is to
longer.
dig into there, or if it's
Oh
just
my
kind of
god!
like.
Well, I tried to look at the years.
You guys hear this guy?
What did you say?
I said, what are they eating? And he's all
Are they
just
eating
liquids.
people?
Yeah.
Cannibals?
And he's like, what kind of liquid? He's
Old
like,
people?
I don't know. Yeah,
The
old
old
people.
people?
Yeah, all the people that die. How
Look,
you
there's
go
only so much
700
room on the ship, man.
Soylent
I
Green.
mean,
Yeah,
I think you
yeah.
do see an old
Soylent
person
Green.
actually. Remember? They're like, where this makes it so it's accessible to everybody, and it's like even grandma can play. And shave
Oh,
her
yeah.
Honestly, I don't
there's an
even
old
remember.
But
person.
there's only one. And it's only a commercial.
The rest are being eaten.
Maybe she's the queen. To answer your question about
Oh god.
Right after they
Could you
filmed the
imagine?
commercial,
Ah.
they just tossed her out.
How come it's only Americans that got saved up there?
maybe because we're the superior race. I think that's
Because
the only.
B&L's
Oh,
released
actually,
in America. That's my
Because
shitty reason.
corporate
I don't know.
capitalism is the way to be.
we can't say that. We have our viewer base. 17% of our viewer base is in Germany.
Oh.
Oh, shout out
Unless
Germany.
any of you
Shout
have been
out to
using a
Germany.
VPN while watching. 'Cause they would show up.
Shout out to our friends.
That is weird. Well, I don't know.
Guten Tag.
in-
Maybe
in
after all that
Germany.
time, they just all melded into one. All
Well, there
speak
could be
English
separate
and
cruise ships.
There
could be
very
by and
well
larges for every race.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every
That-
state, every
Every
country.
race was there only white
know,
people?
No, every state, every country.
Honestly,
No,
I don't know. Did you
No,
see
well,
it?
country, race, you
Yeah.
know what I mean.
Yeah.
Russians, Americans.
Yeah.
Granted, American.
Nationalities.
Yeah. Nationalities.
Nationalities.
There you go. Yeah, so Eve brings the plant back to the ship. The captain's like, this is crazy. The captain's wheel robot thing, which I'd like took
I love
me
it.
halfway through the fucking
I didn't
thing.
even
I was
know
just
it
like,
was
oh,
a
it's a
wheel.
captain's wheel.
I didn't even know
Oh,
me
man.
either. I was
It's
just
like, oh, it looks
oh,
like
yeah.
a portal.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's
that's
like
what I
Portal.
was like. This is Portal. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Portal.
Yeah. The
And
captain's
then,
wheel.
and then
thing
wheel.
And then it turned, and I was like, oh.
is turning against the captain. It's just like,
Yeah.
you don't need to know this.
How
you don't
long
need
was
to
it
know-
doing
a
this?
little bit of
Crazy,
Howl in
dude.
2001. A little bit of Howl, a little bit of Red Light.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Probably a little toss. Just a little.
Yeah.
But,
I'm about to toss this Bon and Vive sparkling seltzer.
Oh.
shoot. Hope nobody wants this. Oh, this last one. Can you crack this?
Okay.
Share it if you want to.
Can you crack it?
So, yeah, she brings a plant. They try to like intercept the plant, and then I don't know what. Long story short, I guess they're like, you know what, we're going back to Earth.
Yep.
Seems pretty chill down there.
Yeah.
We're over there.
Yeah.
There was
Dude.
that part where it was like, here's the manual, now like read it. And it's
Oh
just
yeah,
like, what do I do?
That's
You know
pretty
what I
funny.
mean?
yeah.
That's
Books
sort of
are
like
gonna
that.
open.
Yeah.
And This is in 1994 they came up with this concept. Probably not that part, right?
Yeah.
Well,
But still, 2008.
Well, honestly, flipping pages is fucking annoying. Just let me scroll, man.
Dude, remember when
Lost
Google
my
Like,
class.
have you ever like seen something like you're like, oh, like this can here? You're like, how do I zoom in on it? You're like,
Dude,
you're like,
Every
Augmented
time I show you a
reality,
picture
man.
on my phone,
Pull
you just
apart.
immediately just start zooming in. I'm like, I don't even know you can do that.
you just gotta zoom, man. I just want to see what's.
Yeah.
do you remember when
James,
Google
it's
Glass Google Glass was the craze,
Oh,
and like
God,
people
yeah.
were like, in a few years, you're not gonna read books anymore. You're just gonna read with your eye. And I'm just
Dude, that'd be
like,
so cool, to be honest.
Dude,
and then
nobody-
it didn't
It's
happen.
crazy
It's
that
like,
nothing
shit.
happened with that
I
shit.
know,
Yeah.
I know. It's because it looks.
They
so
were like
stupid.
banning it
flop.
from like flights and all kinds of crazy shit, and it's just like, who the fuck even had any?
I know.
Nobody.
I never saw one.
Where
in
the
real
fuck
life.
could you buy them?
Yeah.
Granted, we don't live in like Silicon Valley. Or anything,
Oh, I know.
but-
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, right.
I don't think you see any of those douches. They saw into it. Come on, that was like some fake shit. That was like some shit to like get people all stirred up about like technology craze
I don't
kind
know.
of shit. Because
It's a
people who were
conspiracy
really
theory.
into that kind of stuff and who could afford to buy that stuff, they're like, that's not even fucking viable. Right?
You know, which goes to show how forgiving we are of Google, because we just let them get away with that one. We're just like, really, Google Glass, and then everyone just forgot about it.
Because they drop
Which is the new
everything they
B&L,
do,
man. By and large, is Google too.
Oh, God.
There's a lot of things. But, I mean, either way, everybody just hands their data over to Google anyway.
Yeah.
And they all just
Except.
turn around and hand it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man,
We're already there.
what a time to be alive.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that like our data, like our demographics, are just like so freaking monetizable.
Became valuable.
You know, like so valuable.
Yeah.
So crazy.
It's weird.
What are you guys doing over there?
I was just trying to see the rest of the cast.
just-
Dude, I didn't realize
I'm just trying to.
Sigourney Weaver was the
Oh,
voice
was
of
the,
the
was the
computer.
director or like the
Wheel?
computer
the
voice?
ship, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's funny because she's in Finding Dory too. She's just like the narrator of the aquarium or whatever. Just her voice again, just like a weird
Oh, really?
thing.
Overthing.
But she
has a
plays
nice
herself.
voice.
She's like Sigourney Weaver here. Blah blah blah. It's pretty funny.
Oh, yeah. She does, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Jeff Garlin. He was in,
I feel like there was one more that I was gonna point out.
what was he in? Like, what was that?
Oh, you would
Eddie
recognize his
Murphy
face,
movie?
yeah. Whatever. I don't know where he's
Yeah,
from, but
what
definitely
is it?
recognizable.
Daddy Daycare or whatever.
oh, there
What's
it
the name?
is.
Oh,
There it
yeah.
is. Arrested Development.
What is he in Arrested Development?
He's the pig in all of the Toy
Oh
Stories.
yes, I did catch that.
Oh.
I did catch that. When I was watching it, I was like, that voice is so familiar, and then I put together that it was
Yeah.
the
We were
pig.
trying to figure that out.
No,
last
that's
night.
a different. That's a
and he's in
different
Up
actor.
2. He's in Up 2.
What?
The
What's
pig
it?
is a different actor that's also in this movie. It's the guy and the girl that are wearing red. That's the pig. I don't know who he is.
Oh
in Toy
yeah,
Story.
You're right. I'm
Who
sorry.
is he then? Go
I'm
to
sorry.
his filmography.
Yeah, or click on Toy Story or something. There you go. It's probably one of the newer ones that we just don't know
It's
all
in
the random
Toy Story
side
3,
characters.
right? There he is.
Buttercup.
Oh, that's right. He's
the
the
unicorn. There you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
I was in all these movies.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Spoiled.
Oh,
Star Wars:
shit.
The Rise of
He's
Skywalker.
playing another captain in Star Wars. Even.
Oh,
Wow, look at that.
shit.
Pigeonholed, huh? Way to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben Burt's like,
Oh,
let's get this
Captain.
guy.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Wow, he's up there, huh? 71.
I mean, I don't know. What do you guys have any other thoughts that you want to get out before we get right into
Dude, okay. So
ratings or anything like that?
yesterday I got home real tired from work. I was like, I just want to play fucking Jedi Fallen Order, the new Star Wars game. I don't want to watch this fucking movie. I've already seen it, blah, blah, blah. 5 minutes into the movie,
Yeah.
so
It gets you
sucked in, dude.
right
I
away.
forgot
You
everything.
wanted to watch it, man.
I love this fucking
I didn't watch
movie,
it
dude.
yesterday, but watched it
Yeah.
the other day.
Yeah. I was
It's just
2
very
days ago.
good.
Oh man.
Yeah.
There is a lot more to kind of go into. I don't know. I think we covered most things. Just like the weird things where like, you know, there was a small scene where they have like, it's like a preschool and they're like, and B is for by and large your best friend.
Yeah.
And like it kind of goes into like how just advertising to kids now. I mean with really anything, like
Yeah.
kids are just, I don't know, selling to kids is
Yeah.
so
yeah,
crazy.
I mean,
That
like
was
B
like
is for
McDonald's.
Budweiser
Yeah.
or
There you go.
Bud Light.
Bud Light, brother.
So that's a joke about your sister and your girlfriend.
Yeah.
She said B is
Same
for
person.
Bud Light.
Well, she was very young. I don't know.
Oh, and she's very young. And that's
Oh
just kind of-
It's like a kindergarten project.
I didn't know that.
Oh man, that'll just be like you're just a kindergarten teacher. Just open it. Just okay. Just put it inside. You're just like, let's just pretend I didn't
Like,
see that.
Kids are more wild today, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Than B is for Bud Light. I think at this point we kind of wish it was B is for Bud Light. You know?
Yeah.
B is for Bumblecott. I don't know, something fucking fucked up. I don't know what they would say.
Oh man.
They have
That's
all kinds
crazy.
of
Okay.
tanker babes.
When you guys watch like sci-fi and stuff, the scenes when Wally and Eve, or even just Wally, is outside of the spaceship, does that like stress you guys out at all? Like that shit
Yes.
destroys my like
While in
innards.
space. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when he's got the fire
It's giving me
extinguisher.
so much anxiety.
Well, the
Oh,
first
and-
time,
and-
first time when he's
first
just
time when the
hanging
ship is
on.
leaving,
Oh yeah.
and when he
he lets go for a
what
second.
is it? Yeah, and he's just floating there.
Oh man, that did stress
Like,
me the fuck
If
out.
the ship just
Oh.
like floats away, you're done.
Oh,
Like
nothing
mathematically,
to do.
that's probably what really happened.
Yeah.
What would have really happened?
what's that movie? I think it has like Sandra Bullock in it, where they're in
Oh,
space.
Gravity.
Gravity. So
There's a
there's
better-
a lot of that in that.
Yeah,
movie.
no.
Dude, there's a
Ooh.
better
Gives me so much
showing of
anxiety.
this. It's brutal, it's horror, it's hardcore on Sex, Love, and Robots. Is that
Oh,
what that
yeah.
show is called?
I think so.
Sex?
Everyone
Is that
I
it?
think
telling
it's
me that.
love, sex, and I don't know.
Or is it Death? Love, Death, and Robots?
That sounds more like it.
Where did I get sex
Maybe.
from?
There's a lot of
Anyways,
sex in that show.
Maybe there is.
And
Yeah,
sexy
maybe that's
things.
it. But the Love, Death, Robots, I think is what it is on Netflix. It's an anthology. It's amazing. But there is one episode where they do like a Lost in Space kind of,
Mm.
not like Lost in Space the series, but like
Literally.
just drifting.
Just
in space.
literally lost in space.
And it's like brutal.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
Dude, doing that in a video game, I played like a sci-fi horror game recently where you're just floating. You have to go across to this other ship. So much anxiety, dude. I could not fucking deal with it. It was
Oh,
like giving
God.
me tingles. I was like, oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
The worst feeling. And also the best feeling.
Yeah, there's trying to think of other kind of cool things, like just the feel of the movie when you're on Earth in the first half, where like
Minecraft
there's just like
vibes.
those random
Minecraft
dust
vibes.
storms.
Dude, have you guys seen Idiocracy? Has anyone?
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
dude.
It
It's all in-
basically starts the exact same way, but it's real life instead.
Oh god.
I feel like you said that every episode so far.
Because everybody needs to see that movie, man.
I know.
We should do that movie.
My 11th
should do
grade
it.
teacher made us watch it.
Wow.
11th grade English. She was like, everybody has to watch this.
Wait. What was her name?
Scott. Miss Scott.
Miss Scott. Yeah, I had film crit with Miss Scott. Yeah, I watched it
I
there
did
too.
Film Crit was
Yeah.
fun.
Which is also where I watched The Others, which is another probably like one of my favorite horror movies, top 3. Oh, but anyway, okay. So the feel of when Wally's on Earth, like just like the sandstorms and like I don't know, like it's so gloomy and so dark, but like there's something about it that's just homey. Like especially when he's in his little bunker.
Oh yeah.
Like just all of that, like every
It's
scene
those
that you're in
lights, man.
God, it's
those
just like
lights.
it's like that moonlighting.
I want those
and you're
lights
just
in my
there.
room.
They did such a good job with
Cozy as
just
fuck, dude.
bringing that in and like really
That was kind
getting
of like
you cozy.
another like human thing. It was like making a home.
Yeah, and like being like it's like when
Collecting
you're
things that
Yeah.
you like and stuff.
like when there's a rainstorm and like you're inside and you're protected,
You feel safe.
but you feel safe, but you love that there's a rainstorm outside.
Yeah.
You're just like, yes, I'm okay. Like
That's how he outlasted all those other robots.
maybe,
Just had a
maybe,
nice little
and those
Yeah.
1920s films that he what the fucking 1950. I don't know what year they were, but okay. Let's jump into the ratings, should we?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who wants to go
Sure.
first?
No.
I'll go first. I'll go first.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I fucking adore this movie. I feel like we didn't even talk about the actual movie itself, but like this scene where they're floating around with each other, like basically dancing in the fucking
Oh yeah.
in space.
With the fire extinguisher.
That's like one of the most beautiful things ever
That's sick.
in any movie. Like it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Just all I don't know. It's really good. I don't know what else to say. It's fucking great.
That's all there is to say.
It's my favorite Pixar movie easily, personally.
Bold statement.
So I would rate this a 9.7.
Dang.
I
Is
fucking love
that
this
the
movie.
highest we've ever had?
No, I did 9.75.
9.75.
That was really good. Maybe we should do like a sober review or like a sober rating and
Write
then
down your rating before we do
yeah,
it.
write down your rating and then you're drunker and be like, fuck this movie too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
fucking love this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's already happened, but so
we need a
for
spreadsheet
me-
for sure that we need because I don't
Yeah.
even.
I want to know. I don't even know.
I think I rate all the movies the same score. Damn, what if I
Oh, we
did
should
that?
keep track of
I just
On
rated them
accident?
all the same score, and then it was just like a joke. Like,
And when you sell
well, now I'm
your-
gonna do that.
You weren't even on the
Yeah, I
joke?
wasn't even on my own joke.
When you
Yeah.
sell your votes to the big studios, all they have to do is
Oh.
just say Joe Lame.
We don't
says
talk about
this
that
is a-
live. Right?
10.
Oh, yeah.
And they don't have to ask
Edit,
you.
edit.
Okay. I want to get in my rating. I just watched this movie all the way through for the first time a couple of days ago, so it's hard to just say that it's like automatically my favorite Pixar. It's definitely amazing. I mean, this especially for when it was introduced in the mid '90s to once it was actually fully created and released in 2008. I think even 10 years ago from today, it's just so ahead of its time. You know, like it had so much, you know, accurate hindsight, and the way that they depict all of the emotions into Wall-E and how he goes through every like major human emotion, where be it, you know, fear, even lust, happiness, sadness, like everything. And they just wrapped that up together so well with little to no dialogue. They just did such a good job. And like this movie is just phenomenal completely. With all that being said, I think I'd probably have to give this at least a 9.3 is where I'm going to land on that. So.
Okay. Wow. I like this movie a lot. I think I like it for different reasons. I like it for like more technical reasons. Like when I started going to college, it was for animation, and so I did take one animation class that was really awesome. But I kind of learned in that, you know, a little bit of time what it really takes to make like animation that looks like this.
And it looks really good still for
So
being
good.
For
11 years
as
old.
as it is,
Like I
Looks
couldn't
really
tell. I
good.
mean,
it holds
I don't know.
up.
I don't watch too many new animation movies, but this was crazy.
I would say it could even compete with like some of the worse off, you know, newer animated
100% it
movies.
competes
Oh, yeah.
with modern movies.
Yeah.
Animation wise.
It is beautiful. Like it looks amazing. It's fluid. Their ability to give emotion to these characters is like almost solely dependent on the animation of these like objects, right?
Mhm.
Which is like a lot of their movies. So I think over the years they've perfected that. Like Toy Story kind of was that, and but Toy Story looks old. If you go back and watch Toy Story 1, it looks old. But it was like the first time that it had ever been done. So
yeah, it was the first full-length
Literally,
3D
I think,
movie.
yeah.
movie.
3D
Yeah,
animated.
3D. So on top of just looking amazing, like it's obviously a great story. And I think, Taryn, you mentioned that we didn't really talk about the movie, which I think is kind of in some ways the point of the movie, is that while the movie's beautiful and the story is like heartwarming, it's not necessarily something we've never seen before. Like we've all seen kind of love stories like this or, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that it made us talk about all the things that it made us talk about.
Yeah,
is
it's the
where I think-
circumstances surrounding what's.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It
That's
had more of a
what
story to tell than
like-
just what it was.
Yeah.
That's when it becomes really beautiful.
It's just a cartoon, bro.
It's just a cartoon, bro. 9.5 out of 10. That's my rating. It's just a cartoon, bro.
Yeah.
This might be our first over 9 rating for.
Get a Wally poster, dude.
Yeah.
We should. Jesus.
So we're knocking it out of the park. We're knocking it out of the park with all the nines. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I needed to beat a dead horse over here saying that the animation is amazing and the story has a lot more to say about many different topics, from capitalism, love, what is humanity. But I think that's like probably the best part about the movie is how they went from the very first part of the movie where it's just all silence and you see all the animation, and that's what really grabs you in. But towards the end of the movie, what brings you back to reality is like, I think inherently we are, as humans, are made to love each other, and we instill our love into things that we create.
Mm-hmm.
So like, you could kind of be like, oh, the humans fucked everything up, but at the end of the day, they still made things right. They made those robots who I don't know. Like, keep going back to him saying, are they sentient? Like, do they understand?
Yeah.
I think I could say like, humans made them that way because of the love that they put into anything that they make, and that was what really like blew me away. Like, watching this movie is like, at the end of the day, what the captain says, he's like, I don't want to survive, I want to live. And like, he just brings that into everything. Well, I mean, they weren't living. They didn't build anything. They had nothing to do. And so now they're going from sitting and laying down on those little floating recliner things to the most back-breaking work when they get on Earth. They start freaking farming. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
It's like polar opposites, but it's about nurturing that thing to grow. And that, I don't know, it's, for some reason that was just like blew me away when I was thinking about it. And it was like, this is a 9.1 out of 10.
Nice.
Generous
Overall,
score coming
pretty
from
good.
James. For sure.
Yeah.
Everybody over
It's a really good movie.
Yeah.
I think I would probably agree with you that that's the best Pixar movie I've ever seen, for sure. But I haven't seen them all, so.
Yeah, same here.
But that
Yeah, it's
that
like-
was just like,
only not
whoa!
seen,
I
like,
was like,
one
that
or two.
movie.
But I think one thing to
really
touch
good.
on really quick while we kind of wrap this up is the ending credits scene, or not scene, but the ending credits, how it shows, how you touched into that they're farming. But not only are they farming, but they are working in tandem with the robots. So this movie is not about robots are bad, all of this automation is bad, we can't do it.
And it's not about, humans are bad either.
Right. It's about like, we need to learn how to work, like how to unify with this and like how to use this technology to advance in, just for humanity.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's where I got that it was a little bit more utopian than most.
Yeah. And it had such a good
ending.
ending. It was such a positive, uplifting.
Unless we want to get into some weird things. When we're
Okay.
talking about...
Well, with that being said, we all rated this movie over a 9, 9.1, 9.3, 9.7, 9.5. So yeah, right around like a 9.3 area.
yeah.
We'd love to know what you guys think. Send us an email to filmfumblers@gmail.com. Reach out to us on Twitter, I think at filmfumblers as well.
Yep.
We should make an Instagram soon. We'll probably have that at Film Fumblers too.
Yeah,
hopefully.
join us live here at twitch.tv/Rigmarole Productions.
No.
Soon to be filmed.
Soon to be
Twitch.tv/Film Fumblers.
Soon to be Film Fumblers. If you're
we're
watching
working on
from
changing
Germany,
that.
it's probably going to be Rigmarole.
Yeah, we'd love to
But-
hear what you guys think about this movie. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Where do you rate it?
What's your favorite Pixar movie?
Yeah, and what's your favorite Pixar movie? And what are some movies we should consider doing in the future?
Yes.
So with all that being said, yeah, farewell.
Cheers.
Bye.
Cheers, guys.